What's up guys, welcome back. In today's video, we will be discussing the different styles of resistance training programs that will help you with your fat loss. So we're talking about things like bodybuilding bro splits, 5x5s, German volume training, HIIT, powerlifting, Olympic weightlifting, things like focusing on the pump, things like focusing on working your nervous system, so on and so forth. So which one of these styles are best suited for you and which ones of these would help with your fat loss? So whatever it is that you choose to do, whether you're training alone or with friends, or maybe you've researched something on YouTube and you found your favorite influencer train a certain way, my advice to you guys is this. Do not have training ADD, meaning pick a plan, stick to it for 6 to 12 weeks, right? Because it's going to take some time for you to see any real-time changes, and then you can decide what you want to do with that information after. So training age matters a lot. If you are new to the game, right, I would not recommend you doing a lot of high intensity, high volume work. Instead, if you're a beginner, I would say go for a full body routine, right? That would work best and keep things even. Now, with that said, big compound movements like squatting with a bar with a ton of weight, deadlifting with a bar with a ton of weight, those are things that I would not get a new lifter into right off the bat, right? Like you'd be better off understanding your body from a more foundational level and building your way up than to go, big compound movements from the start, and that usually ends up on YouTube fails. So what does a full body routine look like? Well, there are so many ways of doing this, but let's discuss one simple example in today's video, right? So I'm just gonna go with a push and a pull, right? So you've got two things to do. You're pushing or you're pulling. And let's say in 7 weeks, over 7 days, I'm going to pick 4 working days, right? 4 training days of a push and a pull. Hypothetically, let's just say I'm going to push on Monday and I'm gonna push on Thursday. And then I'm gonna pull on Tuesday, and maybe I'll pull again on Saturday, right? I'm just gonna keep it that simple. What's a push day look like? So you've got your chest, your shoulders, your triceps, and your quads. These movements, these muscle groups usually have a push element to them. So 4 body parts, right? Now I'm gonna pick between 3 to 4 sets of each of these muscle groups, right? So there's gonna be about 12 to 16 sets in total, right? So that's going to mean if I spend, say, 5 minutes per set on each of these things, it would be roughly 60 to 75 minutes in total. So you'd be working out about an hour at a time on these push muscle groups. So let me just paint you an overall picture of what this means. So let's just say I'm going in on Monday to do my first push day, right? So I've got, maybe I'm gonna pick a light to moderate load for dumbbell bench presses. So I'm gonna be pressing, okay? Pushing 3 sets, okay? And then I will probably say, 10 to 12 reps is a very good and safe range for a person starting out, right? Now, once I've done that, I can go on to maybe a dumbbell push press or a dumbbell shoulder press, right? Also 3 to 4 sets for that. And then I'm gonna move to the next pushing movement, which is for my triceps. I'm gonna pick tricep push downs, right? You may need a cable machine for this. Same thing, 3 to 4 sets. And then finally, I'm going to finish off with a pushing movement for my quads, right? Or my legs. So what I'm gonna pick is I will pick a split squat or a unilateral version to this exercise. So I love split squats. I'm gonna use a light to moderate set of dumbbells for this, also 12 reps per side. So I hope that makes sense, right? So on a push day, I'm gonna pick all my pushing muscle groups. Now you can find more information online on the internet or click the link below for my website. and you can find a bunch of movement patterns based on those pushing and pulling muscle groups. You could also have a day that is dedicated to accessory work. Now, I love doing accessory work. Why? Because it really ensures that you don't get all crazy imbalanced with your body as you're progressing, right? So some things that I like to focus on this sort of day would be making sure that you hit a 2-minute forearm plank in great form. You hit a minute 30 on a side plank, for example. And then you've got a 2-minute Sorensen hold. If you don't know what a Sorensen hold is, check the link below. And all these movement patterns, all these exercises, make sure that you are really covered in that your midline, your core strength is really on point, right? So yes, you want to be pushing for the chest and shoulders and biceps and legs and hamstrings and all of that, but you want to make sure that, you know, your center, your midline, all of this is good and really strong, and you want to be not imbalanced as you progress in this journey of fitness. I will say this though, guys, you do need to place a lot of emphasis on your form when you're training, especially if you're just starting out, right? There is so much to take away from the mind-muscle connection, and I feel like over the last decade, with the rise of, you know, exercise styles claiming that you gotta come in and out as fast as you can, right? Do everything as quickly as possible, 30 minutes in and out, you know, as many reps as possible, beating the clock, and trying to sound like it's being efficient. I disagree with that. I think that, you know, as a beginner, trying to understand what you're working well is key, right? So if you're new to this whole thing, fitness, exercise, you don't know what certain things are called, you don't understand what you're supposed to feel, I would strongly suggest you staying away from things that are, you know, quick, push as hard as you can, sweat as much as you can, and, you know, try to beat that clock, and you should get like 1,000,000 reps of this exercise. By slowing down, not only do you avoid injury, but you allow yourself the ability to connect with your body well. Let's take driving a car, for example, right? When you first start out, you get to know the car and what you're using, you get to know your surroundings a little better, and you probably start, you know, with your clutch in gear 1, taking your time. And then once you get a hang of moving slowly, you'd bump it up to your 2nd or 3rd gear, right? Make sense? So you wouldn't just jump in a car when you're starting out and get yourself at 100 miles per hour and gear 5. So why would you do that with your bodies? Another thing you want to think about is the training program optimal and suited for you? So don't go following a pro's program. It won't suit you, it won't work out. Let's talk about sleep, right? If it's piss poor and if your stress levels are crazy high and your nutrition is not great, right? You're eating way too many calories than you actually need, then those are also going to be factors that will impede you from your progress. I'm not saying that you need to have everything perfect from the get-go, but what I am saying is that you might want to take a look into all these other components as you commence your journey, right? So let's just say the first month you start working out, your nutrition is on point, you sleep better, so on and so forth, and you start seeing progress, right? A little bit of results, right? You start seeing the outline of your abs, maybe you lose a little bit of that love handles, you start leaning out in the arms and the shoulders, and that's all well and good. And then you get excited. So what do? You add a little bit more volume into your training. You go and attend another class or 2 or 3 a week. You may be a person who wakes up earlier every morning to get your runs or your walks in, your cardio. So you start adding things into your day, right? And into the week. It all adds up. Now what's going to happen is, as you're adding more activity, yes, you burn more calorically, you expend more energy, and that's great. But if you're not fine-tuning and compensating for all of that expenses, things are gonna, they're gonna get out of whack pretty soon. So you do that often enough, very soon you're gonna find yourself a little bit more tired, you're not eating well enough, and you're gonna feel yourself a bit more, hungry, you're gonna be maybe slightly a bit more agitated, and then you're gonna feel pretty burnt out real quick. So what's going to happen is that motivation that you had earlier on is going to go out the window, and then soon enough you'll find yourself giving up, which is a shame, because all you needed to do from the start is to pace yourself a little better, not get too excited too quickly, and possibly review your progress on a weekly, bi-weekly, or even a monthly sort of setup, right? So with the information that you have, you can make better decisions instead of just adding more stuff into your fitness regime, right? Can you add more load? Should you be doing 10 more minutes of cardio a day? Can you push yourself and lower calories by another 100 calories a day, right? Should you add more volume into your overall training per day or per week? So these are all really legit, valid questions that get asked a lot, but no one really seems to know how to really apply them. If you guys would like a free training program designed for beginners, guys, please head down to my website. It's linked below. You can start from there, guys. But if you'd like to work closely with a coach, you can also contact me, DM me through my Instagram account. That's all for today, guys. The takeaway is pick a program, stick to it for 3 months or longer, track and monitor your progress if possible, eat right, get your rest and recovery, and everything's gonna be just fine, right? So with that said, guys, if you think I've brought value to your lives, please go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. Leave your comments down in the comment section. I would love to hear what you guys have to say. Till then, I'll see you guys in the next video.